What's wrong? You look upset.
Nothing. I saw the synth Sean today. There's something about him that just makes me sad.
Why? He's not perfect, but he's a remarkable step forward for the program. You all did an amazing job.
No, I know, but I can't stop thinking about him. He's supposed to be an exact replica of a child, but that's all he'll ever be. It just feels wrong.
I don't understand what the issue is. He is as real as any child I've ever seen.
That! We gave him every capability of a real child, except a future. He'll never age. He'll never be allowed to grow up or have a family of his own.
So you're worried about what will happen to him?
He'll be a child forever. Sometimes I feel we have no right to do the things we do. Just because we can is not a reason. I think we made a mistake.
Janet, don't say things like that. Someone might not understand and take it the wrong way.
Think about it, Doctor. You and everyone else firmly hold on to the archaic opinion that the synths are inferior. By limiting them, we limit our work.
I am well aware of your ideas, Doctor, and there is a reason they are not the popular ones. There needs to be a distinction between us and them.
No, they are an evolution of us. The synths possess vast untapped potential if we'd only let them show it.
I suggest you keep your radical opinions to yourself from now on. Otherwise, you might find yourself being escorted to the teleporter for a one-way trip. In light of recent events, we've been asked to take a look at the behavioral mapping in the Gen 3s.
I thought things would be better with Alana in charge. Now I see she's just as blind. Regardless of what she might believe, she's wrong. The Gen 3s are functioning perfectly.
SRB doesn't agree. Statistically, the Gen 3s have shown an increase in autonomic behavior, suggesting a malfunction in the latest models.
I assure you, Doctor, that is not a malfunction.
How's that personal synth of yours working out? I've heard that Liam's grown quite attached to it.
Not it, Dr. Loken. She. And she has a name. To answer your question, Eve has been an indispensable companion, both to Liam and myself.
Alan, I know it's been difficult for you since you lost your wife, but don't lose perspective. A synth might look like a man or a woman, but it isn't. It's not healthy to become too attached.
Need I remind you, Dr. Loken, that in biochemical terms, a human being is also a machine?
Don't hide behind technicalities, Alan. I'm your friend. I'm not judging you, but others will. Such behavior could be construed as deviant. You know where that will lead.
There's no need to get worked up over it, Max. I'm simply carrying out an experiment. I believe our third-generation synths are sophisticated enough to form social bonds, even familial bonds. Only through close observation can I prove my hypothesis.
All right, Alan, I'll trust your judgment on this. Just be careful. Come now, Alan, it could have been anything. It was probably just a glitch in the nervous system. The fine motor control software could use an update.
If it were just a limb twitching, perhaps. But her eyes were moving as well. Involuntary twitching and rapid eye movements while sleeping can only mean one thing, Max. You just don't want to admit to yourself what it is.
If you're about to launch into one of your impassioned speeches about artificial sentience and machines with souls, don't bother. I've heard enough of them by now. Hell, I could write them down from memory.
But we can't just ignore the question. If a synth can dream, why can't it have a soul? And if a synth has a soul, then it is a living person by every standard we can measure. Of course it is far more comfortable to think of them as machines, so we can do what we want with them.
If you disapprove of the work we do here, Dr. Benet, you know where to find the teleporter.
Now just a moment, I never said that.
Well, it's an unwanted distraction. We're men of science, not philosophers. You do well to remember that.
I wonder how the Warwick family is doing. Young Wally must be close to 10 years old by now. It's remarkable that any child can survive for so long up there, don't you think?
I try not to think too much about it. We have more than enough to occupy ourselves here. Those people are the last remnants of a dying past. It's best not to dwell on the subject.
They're still people, and they're suffering. We can at least admit that it's regrettable. After all, how can we hope to redefine mankind if we can't even hold on to our own humanity?
Well, that's a question best left to our colleagues in the robotics division.
Yes, well, I suppose you're right.
Dr. Secord, I've just been informed that a courser in grid J12 has stumbled across a rogue synth completely by accident.
What model?
A Gen 3 designation S114. The report indicates that it has no memory of the Institute or that it is a synth.
That unit's been missing for months.
Seeing as how this was not the initial target, how should we proceed?
Bring it back here for reset. We'll send the courser back out immediately after.
Synth unit, you were scheduled for maintenance duty in SRB last night. Anything you'd like to report?
Nothing to report, sir. I carried out my duties, as usual.
Dr. Ao saw you accessing a terminal. You know you are not permitted to access terminals in that section. Is Dr. Ao mistaken?
Yes. No, he's not. But I was only...
What is it? Were you or weren't you accessing a terminal in SRB?
I was, but I swear it's not what it sounds like. I was cleaning the terminal, and it switched on by mistake. I was just shutting it down.
Was that a stutter? Have you developed a defect, unit? Maybe you need to be reset.
Sir, I assure you that won't be necessary. It won't happen again.
See that it doesn't. You don't want me to tell you twice. Now get back to your duties. Hold it right there.
Is there a problem?
Routine security check. See anything suspicious lately?
Suspicious? What do you mean by suspicious?
I mean, like dodging my questions.
No. Nothing to report, sir. If I see something, I'll be sure to come right to you.
You do that. I'd hate to find your name on a repurpose list.
Have you seen J522 around? He didn't show up for duty today, and I can't seem to find him.
Did you check robotics? He was probably scheduled for routine maintenance. I wouldn't worry about it.
I thought so too, but he wasn't in the log, and everyone I've asked hasn't seen him. He's never just missed his shift like that.
What are you saying?
I'm worried something might have happened to him. No one knows where he is. It's like he just disappeared. It doesn't feel right.
Shh. Keep your voice down. You know what happens if they hear you talking like this? They'll wipe you. I suggest you keep this to yourself.
But what if something's wrong? Look around. Courser patrols have doubled. Synths are being wiped more frequently. Something is going on.
I don't want to hear any more. Do whatever you want. Just leave me out of it.